2. Welcome back to Nerds and Gym Podcast. I'm Brennan.
And I'm Marco. Today's November 16th, 2023. Welcome back to another episode. New week, new us. Maybe a longer one because next Thursday's Thanksgiving. We record on Thursdays. Doesn't really work out next week, so.
And if you're a long-time listener, that's when Marco gets together with his family and watches John Wick.
No, that's Christmas. Even
that's
worse.
Christmas? Oh, sorry.
Even worse.
I jumped the gun.
At least Thanksgiving, my family at least watches football, which we can all get behind that. Well, most of us. I'm not sure about everybody. I know there's some anti-footballists out there.
Yeah, anti-footballers.
Yeah, anti-footballs.
Some hooligans.
Whereas in the UK, they're all pro-football, but it's a different football.
You're not wrong. All right, I guess we gotta hit these Thanksgiving topics. Marco, favorite dessert, go.
Oh, dessert. Turtle pie.
Is that a thing?
Yes. It's delicious. What's your favorite?
Mine's pumpkin, but I'll bite. What's turtle pie?
So you know, like the turtle candies, it's got like the pecans, chocolate, caramel. It's that, but it's in a pie. It's delicious. It's really good.
Marco's family gets really down with 420s. So.
And I'm pretty sure too. This one has one of those graham cracker crust, which any pie that has a graham cracker crust, instantly top tier pie.
This pie got created by someone that obviously had no ingredients at their house, forgot to bring a dessert, and made it. And now it's a Dina Cola tradition.
My mom actually found it in one of those lame magazines, where it has like, you scroll through like one of those People magazines, and it has like those 2 recipes. Like, this is what you can make on your Thanksgiving.
The People magazine, the Us Weekly.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated Kids.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what Tom Brady's eating on Thanksgiving. I bet you he's got an avocado pie.
I bet since he retired, he probably eats normal food again.
You know, that is great. We should get him on the podcast and ask what his diet and training is like post-NFL.
I'm sure someone's asked him. Did the foot?
I don't think so. Not yet, at least.
What do you talk about with Tom Brady now?
Well, will you talk about his future endeavors? What businesses does he want to start? How is he... What's he going to do in his life of retirement?
Pass. Next question.
Yeah. No, his life is pretty boring after football.
This is the problem with football players.
Yeah.
Is after they're done playing, they got to do something super interesting, or they just kind of fade away.
Do you think Tom Brady should become an actor and make a sequel series to the Brady Bunch?
A sequel series? Or should we do another 80 for Brady?
I never saw the first one.
Neither did I, but you could.
90 for Brady.
85? Get Gronk in there?
Yeah, let's do it. 87.
So instead of doing all women traveling to see Tom Brady, we do an all male one? What? For the sequel?
We should.
Sorry, my phone just went crazy. It's just the Best Buy app. Black Friday's coming around the corner, guys.
Black Friday is coming, and there's some like crazy deals.
Hit me. What do you got? You see anything good?
Well, I'm not. I go to BJ's and get their catalog, and there's like gaming laptops and stuff on there. They're like $400 off. Like you're going from $1,200 to $700, $800. And with this thing going, I may actually look into getting one.
Okay.
Because, hey, why not? But yeah, I feel like this is one of the slower starting podcasts we've had in a while.
It's on me. I should never have done the holiday thing.
No, you shouldn't.
I had this whole image of you and me commentating a parade, which would be for no one but us. And
like the Thanksgiving parade?
We record the Thanksgiving parade, and then we just sit there, put it on mute, and then we're in charge of the commentary.
You know what? No, you know what we should commentate? Is it on Thanksgiving that they do like the dog football?
The Puppy Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Super Bowl.
Oh, that's the Super Bowl? Gosh darn it.
Thanksgiving does the Purina Dog Show.
Okay.
Which is similar.
Oh, no, I'm not as interested in that. Well, maybe we should just hit it off with some nerd news. Let's just get straight into it.
Let's hold nerd news off to the end. We gotta ask how Marco's... I'm just kidding. That's the entire podcast. It used to be a segment, then we lost Joe.
That's true. So, Pedro Pascal is in the news again. It looks like they are... This headline says that he's officially starring as Reed Richards, or as I like to call him, Stretchy Guy, in Fantastic Four. It is not confirmed, but he is being eyed for the role. You like that one?
You and me have known each other for a few years now, and your level of self-awareness has gone through the roof, and it's so enjoyable. 4 years ago, you would have called him Stretchy Guy and gone about it, but now that you're so self-aware that you go, this is the dumb thing I do, and you laugh at me, let me make the joke first. And we have 100 subscribers, and one of them I'm pretty sure is me. That one was for me.
I think 4 of them are Joe, the guy who dropped out the podcast.
The burner account.
But I think this is a great casting.
Why?
Because it's
What?
Pedro Pascal.
I don't need him in everything.
That's true. Don't need him and everything, but I think it's nice having Pedro Pascal on things. He's got the hearts of all the people in this world, especially the nerd world.
No, he's gonna have a take. I don't want his take.
Who would you like to see play Reed Richards?
I want
John Krasinski back?
I was okay with John Krasinski.
I would like John Krasinski back, honestly. I thought he just looked the role. He's got the demeanor for it, too.
You know who I want?
Who?
Chris Rock.
Okay, that's a good take.
If anything, it'll be funny.
He'll get slapped in the face.
Or Eddie Murphy. I guess Eddie Murphy's doing a Christmas movie. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
You know what? Let's get let's go a little bit crazier. Dwayne Johnson.
You know my answer is to put The Rock in everything.
Yes. But he should be the big rock guy. Whatever his name is. I don't know his name.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were going to make a joke.
No.
The Thing.
The Thing. Yeah.
It's clobbering time.
Yeah. But no, I like, that's who they're eyeing. That's who their main choices seems like it is. I'm not, you obviously don't seem too thrilled.
I'm okay with it. He's just in everything.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to go, oh, yay, Pedro Pascal, when it's like, all I'm going to see is Din Djarin.
So do you think there is a problem with having people in everything like they're doing Pedro Pascal right now? He's kind of like the main in everything. Or they're looking at him to be the main in everything?
I think there's enough actors around. Spread the love. Give me an unknown actor. Also, give me a take on Reed Richards. Don't make him middle-aged. Either make him super old or super young.
That is a good question. Like, I know a couple weeks ago on the podcast we had done like a hypothetical older cast for Fantastic Four. But do you think this new age of Fantastic Four that they're bringing in is going to be older, younger, or do you think they're going to be like the comics?
I think they're going to have to... They're running out of older actors to anchor these superhero teams.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to have them be all kids. And it doesn't make them sense to be all older. But the thing is, they've killed off everyone.
Yeah.
So you have to have some older, more established characters.
With that being said, they are looking... Apparently, they're setting up a kids' Avengers team.
I think that it's called the Young Avengers, which is canon, which makes sense. Is it going to be people that are already in other MCU movies?
So far it is. So I actually sent it to Trent the other day, or maybe he sent it to me. So it was just a poster. This is just the potential with what they've put in there so far. I'm not too familiar with like all the characters. They look familiar, but I don't remember them as much.
So top right is Miss Marvel.
Yep.
She is on her Disney Plus show, Miss Marvel. The one below her is in Black Panther 2.
This one?
She's a genius college student. Who else do we got
So
here?
that's young Loki, I believe, in the top middle.
I agree.
The the way bottom one is what's
So
in
now
it.
I see why people get upset without having the picture.
Yeah.
Now...
Yeah, now you see why people get...
Now I get with the comment section because I was like, this is horrible content.
Yeah. You know what I just realized, though? Is with this split screen that I'm doing, there is a way that I could format it after. I just have to do that in the settings after. So sorry about no photo on this, folks.
No worries. So anyways, left-hand side, those are the two Scarlet Witch children.
Yep.
Below them, that is Ant-Man's daughter.
Yep.
The one in the middle, is that Kate Bishop from Hawkeye show?
I believe so. And then the way bottom one is from the Marvels, right? Or is that not her?
No, that's top right. So the one way at the bottom is throwing me off. There was, I think she might be from Hulu, did a Marvel show back in the day with a bunch of kids.
Okay.
It only lasted 2 seasons and she could talk to dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
Could be her, but...
Like, what are your thoughts on a young Avengers in general, though?
I was super into it until I saw this cast.
So no, I don't blame you.
This is such a dick thing to say.
I'm just not a fan of kid actors, which is probably it's because you're not letting them just be kids for their life. It's more of just like a moral thing of like what you're doing to their life at such a young age and kind of messing with it. Like you look at like all those Disney stars and stuff, they have a lot of issues later on in life.
Oh no, children acting? It's a huge problem later on in life.
Like I know a few of these people that are in the Young Avengers
I
are
feel bad
definitely...
because Kate Bishop's in her 20s.
No, that's what I'm going to say is like some
they're just going to be like, hey, you know what? You're going to carry the rock.
Some of them are older, and I think it's fine. It's just the like really young ones. It's a little insane to me, and I disagree with it from like a moral aspect.
No, you know what's crazy?
What
is I like Miss Marvel a lot. Like the TV show. I'm in. I like Kate Bishop a lot. I like that Hawkeye show. I'm in. Ant-Man 2 was so-so, but I like Ant-Man's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. The two boys from Loki. It's just putting them all together is the problem.
Yeah. They haven't had enough setup, probably. Maybe they need like one more movie or TV show each.
I think we keep them as B characters and we're okay with it until they become A characters on their own. I don't need this team.
Well, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to build the young Avengers up until like they're all adults and then kind of like build them up, their story and everything before they have them go in.
All right, so you want me to tell you the plot of this one right now?
Yeah.
Vision flew off. Vision's going to be the mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he knows the two boys.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably not going to get along at first. There's probably going to be some tension.
Mm-hmm.
Big event. They're going to have to work together.
Yep.
And Loki betrays them halfway through, becomes the villain for the next.
The Kid Loki.
Yeah, Kid Loki. Or
Interesting.
Loki, as we'll call it.
So you're trying to say is that he's going parallel the actual Loki then in a way?
I'm saying there's a formula to these movies that they're too scared to go up again.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that. Okay, I can see that.
And honestly, after the Marvels didn't do well last weekend, worst opening in the MCU.
Not only the worst opening in the MCU, I think it fell behind what Black Adam's sales did in the first week, as well as The Flash. And we know those were two, like, big,
money loss
movies, superhero movies. I don't know, I don't have the exact numbers up, I can't find them right now. I had them saved, but did you see the Marvels?
No.
No?
Well, you know our movie theater.
Yeah.
I have to wait at least 3 weeks if I want to see the movie, and I have to decide if I want to see it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be on Disney Plus before January.
Nope, yep. It opened to $47 million domestically, lowest opening in MCU history.
You know what's crazy? You know what beat that?
What?
Is Five Nights at Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy's,
which
is the biggest horror movie of the year and one of the biggest horror movie openings of all time, I think.
You know what's crazy is it made more money than Marvel's, and you can watch it on Peacock for $5 by buying the monthly subscription for 1 month. So people actively went to the movie theaters to see Five Nights at Freddy versus signing up for Peacock.
That's insane. Hey, props to them. And, you know, they have Matthew Lillard in there. Is that his name? The guy that plays Shaggy in the James?
Is he?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And one of the things that he said about it is he mainly did the role because his kids love the games.
Yep.
And they were so happy that he took the role and, like, they saw the movie, loved that he was in it. And it just seems like it's not only just a movie that he did just for his kids. It looked like he genuinely had fun on it and liked it. I could see there being a sequel of Five Nights at Freddy's at this point.
It made enough money, definitely.
It definitely made enough money, and I think there's like 7 or 8 Five Nights at Freddy games, so there's enough source material, I would say.
Yeah.
I've never really played the games. I played one of them. I was confused as to how it works, so I stopped playing.
Is this the games where you have choices to make, or no?
No, this is like one of those games where you're... I don't even know how to explain it. I think you're at some type of like kids center thing, and you're a security guard at night, and you just make sure like the entire place is secured, nobody's like breaking in and stuff, but the animatronics come to life and start lurking around.
Yeah. And
I think you have to try to like scare them away and stuff, and try to make a certain amount of nights without the animatronic killing you.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know too much about the game. I haven't played it enough, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think they'll make a sequel.
No, I'm just impressed. And honestly, now the Marvels is going to be competing with itself in a week. Which I mean by that is Disney's got a kids movie coming out.
You know, I could see its sales going up next week though because of the holiday weekend.
Maybe.
The holidays are a big movie.
Oh no,
time.
for sure. But I don't think it does more than what it did opening weekend.
Yeah, that's true. What was the budget on it? Like $220 million or something?
Something crazy like that, yeah.
Ooh, now this is a good question. Will the Marvels lose more money than Indiana Jones?
How much did Indiana Jones lose?
I don't know how much it lost. I think it only made like $380 million, and it would cost $320.
I mean, we'll give it a shot to see what it does overseas, but it's not looking.
I don't think the Marvel movies do good overseas, or they don't do great. Maybe I don't know too much though about overseas sales for it.
I don't even know what's over there.
Water. But yeah. So
are we still doing MCU stuff, or you want to take a sidestep to Sony?
One more MCU thing, and it's actually going back to the Fantastic Four. So the director is tied to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yep.
And he said that the stuff that he is bringing some of that It's Always Sunny energy into the Fantastic Four movie.
Do it.
Yeah, so It's Always Sunny will influence Fantastic Four, according to him.
Always Sunny's hilarious. I highly recommend it.
And they're taking an improvisational approach to filming it.
So, best joke wins.
You know what? Let's get some good like improv actors playing. Actually, that's probably what they have to go for then, if that's the goal in
If
terms
they
of
want
casting.
improv actors?
Yeah.
Boom, Will Ferrell.
Why this is why you bring John Krasinski back as Richard Reed.
I'm sure you can hang.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, no. So that's on the MCU. You said you have DC stuff
Sony.
or Sony. Let's hit it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sony's at it again, Marco. Ruining the Spider-Verse.
Madam Web.
Madam Web.
So did a trailer come out for that?
Trailer came out 2 days ago.
So I know. Okay, I didn't see the trailer. I saw this picture of like the actresses that are playing in it. Did you see the trailer?
I did see the trailer.
How was the trailer, Brandon?
Remember when we watched Kraven the Hunter trailer and we couldn't finish it?
Yeah.
I was able to finish this one, but it was not easy.
Oh, but it was easier than the Kraven the Hunter trailer.
I don't know if it was.
You just forced yourself to.
There was a force. Are you familiar with Madam Web?
I'm not familiar with Madam Web, but is it like a female Spider-Man?
No. Madam Web is like a mythical Thanos-level villain in the comics.
Oh.
Except it's for Spider-Man.
Okay.
So what happens with Madam Web is you find out she was big in the 90s cartoons and 90s comics.
Yep.
And she is the one pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
So she sends Spider-Man to different Spider-Verses. She's sending villains after him. But this is Madam Web.
Okay. An older lady?
Older woman. So it would have been a good role for an older woman.
Yep.
And she is a villain.
Mm-hmm.
She is not a hero. She does not run around downtown.
So let me guess. They're making Madam Web like a hero.
Madam Web is a paramedic who gets spider powers, the spider sense. And she can see into the future, which Madam Web can see into the future, but as a villain. Mm-hmm. So what she does, Dakota Fanning, is that her name? Dakota Johnson?
Dakota Johnson, I think.
Dakota Johnson. So this one, she's a paramedic, and she can see 3 minutes into the future. And then whatever happens in the future, they show it, and then she goes and does her own thing. Do you remember that movie I keep ranting about, Nicolas Cage's Next? Which I call the worst movie of all time?
Yeah.
Same premise. He can see 2 minutes into the future. And then you have to watch the movie, watch him get shot, and then watch what he does instead of getting shot. It's the most frustrating way to watch a movie, and they made an entire movie of it.
So the thing about this movie is there's an actress in there called Sydney Sweeney.
Yep, she's from HBO.
Euphoria.
Yep.
Because of her, this movie's going to do big sales. People love her.
I think they love her when they don't have to leave their homes to watch.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
We'll see. I don't think she's done another big movie.
No, I think she was just in some type of rom-com.
Right, with Glenn Powell from
Yeah.
Top Gun.
And apparently people liked that, I think. But they said that their chemistry was completely off on screen.
Which is weird because they cheated on their partners with each other and started dating.
Did they really?
Then you had to really actively work to be bad at that. If that's true. I don't think that movie's come out yet because
Oh, it hasn't?
there's not a rom-com out, Marco, that I haven't watched yet.
That's true.
But yeah, so that's my problem with
That's if it's even a rom-com at this point. Just sounds like it was real.
So this is my problem with Madam Web, bud.
Mm-hmm.
They're just ruining all the best Spider-Man villains.
Yeah.
What I think is funny, Ben from Parks and Rec. I know you haven't watched Parks and Rec, but the actor that plays Ben is in it. And in Venom, they had Mona Lisa from Parks and Rec. Mm-hmm. So each one of these standalone films seems to have a member of the Parks and Rec cast.
How, obviously Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man and all Spider-Man product.
Unfortunately.
There is no way, though, for Marvel really to just take it from them.
Not without paying, and they're not going to do that.
Well, they've tried paying, but it's not without Sony agreeing to it.
Right, they almost make rental deals, but Sony's never going to sell that IP.
And there's obviously already a huge deal between the two of them.
Just for Spider-Man, yeah.
And it's like, how long does Marvel go for this before they're like, we'll give you guys $5 billion for this IP? Because
you guys are burning it to the ground.
Because it doesn't just hurt, obviously it's going to hurt Sony and stuff, but at some point the Spider-Man audience is going to get confused, and they're not going to be able to differentiate what's the MCU, what's the Sony universe. Technically, they're all the same universe at this point.
And meanwhile, the Spider-Man movies are just scraping together villains that sometimes met Spider-Man that they own.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has the best villains, and we're just wasting away watching them be heroes.
Mm-hmm.
It's infuriating. Marco, if you went...
Because if they're good guys now, how do you bring them back to make them villains of Spider-Man.
Right. Unless they're all standing next to each other and the same thing happens to them all. Like, I don't even know. Why do you want to humanize your villains?
What are they going to do? Have them get, like, hit by, like, the Green Goblin gas and turn against them all?
They just have them to all be having coffee shop lunch and, oops, we're villains now. There's no good way to do it.
Unless the only thing I can think of is if there's, like, some type of mutant arrest or something where they get arrested as mutants, and then, like I say, Green Goblin finds them and creates the Sinister Six out of them.
But again, it just ruins it because they're not mutants.
Yeah.
There's just no good way to do it.
Yeah.
Marco, if you had a really bad drinking problem for years and you became a menace to society, someone in your family can go to court and get you locked up, get you the help you need, right? Mm-hmm. When do we do that for Sony? They wasted Venom 2. Mobius was...
We need a protest against Sony to just give all their Marvel stuff back to Marvel.
I think protest is too light. We need to go to court.
Yeah.
They are killing me. Venom was good enough. Venom 2, a little lackluster. Mm-hmm. Morbius was bad. Craven the Hunter, they can't even make a good trailer. And Madam Web, I'm already writing off.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's infuriating, and I won't stand for it.
And the worst part is they may bring back, like, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Are they going to ruin those characters' legacies?
Does that fall under Sony?
Yes.
They're going to. Yeah, you know why? You know what would have been awesome? Andrew Garfield and Amazing Spider-Man 3 fighting Craven.
But no.
You know what would be awesome? If all of a sudden Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 4 this entire time Madam Web was pulling the strings.
I think what they're actually doing is they're setting up Amazing Spider-Man 3 to be Andrew Garfield versus Tom Hardy's Venom. Again, I don't know how they do that because Venom seems like a good guy at this point.
Right, and you already burned Venom with the Sam Raimi one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. So you have to hope the symbiote freaks out.
I don't know what to say. Sony is putting themselves in a very tough spot, and all they're kind of doing is just, it seems like they're farming money in at this point.
I just don't, it's got to be losing money.
I think they are.
There's no way these are. You had Woody Harrelson
as Carnage,
and you just kill him in a 90-minute movie.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's, Sony needs to be stopped. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, we start today. We start the movement against Sony.
Marco,
we take back Spider-Man and all of his characters.
Marco, it's gonna get bad.
You know what's crazy to me though about like the whole Marvel situation though is how they were able to divide specific characters and stuff specifically to like you had the Fantastic Four and X-Men with Marvel, but how that includes not just those X-Men characters but their villains. Because, like, I understand those, like, villains and stuff were specifically in the comics for those, but I can't, like, it's crazy to me that you can designate them strictly to those characters and basically sell the rights to specific characters like that.
Well, you know what happened, right? So Marvel Comics owned all the rights into the 90s, started going bankrupt.
Yes.
People stopped buying it.
Yep.
That's where they sold it to individual properties.
Yep.
So
and that's when the movies started being made.
So it's essentially like a 30-year-old deal that someone goes, no one cares about this character, loop them in here.
Yeah.
And now, 30 years later, I'm just wondering who they're going to ruin next with a standalone movie. The problem is...
They're probably going to do a Vulture one and mess that up.
Vulture would be an easy one.
Yep.
But I'm trying
Doc Ock would be a hard one, like, to watch them mess up.
They would have to reboot it with a different actor.
They're definitely doing Scorpion at some point. You can't tell me Scorpion's not getting his own movie.
As a hero?
You know what they're going to do? They're going to make a Norman Osborn movie, but not him being Green Goblin at all. Just prequel. Him being a scientist.
It's going to be a what-if story if he was a good dad instead. Rhino. We're going to spend 2 hours watching a Rhino movie, and in the last 20 minutes he puts on the suit.
Yep.
Or he becomes Rhino. Black Cat, they'll probably ruin that.
I could definitely see a Black Cat movie.
What makes me laugh with Black Cat is she's been in like 3 movies, and they just always cut her.
Mm-hmm.
Hobgoblin, which is like a knockoff Green Goblin, they could ruin that.
Well, isn't Hobgoblin supposed to be Harry Osborn's attempt at Green Goblin?
Some comics, yes. And he was kind of Hobgoblin in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
But no, there's a whole list that they're going to ruin.
Yep. So guys, we're going to do it now. We are going to save the Spider-Man universe. Protest against Sony, bring them to court, get Marvel the rights back to Spider-Man and all of the Spider-Man property.
Yeah. Where's Sony headquarters?
It's in Japan. Isn't it a Japanese-based company?
Let me go Sony movie headquarters.
Like, their headquarters may be different than...
Culver City.
Where's Culver City? Let's just stand outside with a bunch of posters.
Looks like Culver City is in California.
Okay.
It is just outside Santa Monica.
Okay, we're taking a trip down.
I'm in.
Everybody outside the Sony studios, we'll say, I don't know, what do you want to do, like December or something? Let's do
I'm
like
pretty booked up. Can we do it 2025?
2025. You don't have to be there. I'll bring a poster of you in spirit. Guys, December 9th, 2023. Be there in front of Sony. We're protesting to get the rights of Spider-Man back to Marvel.
I'm busy, but let me know how it goes.
I will. We can FaceTime you in.
Don't forget the time change. You're going to get there at
2
4
p.m. 2 p.m. Forgot the time.
2 p.m. local time?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, have you heard about the Coyote versus Acme thing that's going on?
Yes.
So the movie is getting scrapped, but now they're holding a screening to get it sold to other. So what is the Warner Brothers is trying to sell the rights to the movie to get it published by a different publisher, essentially.
It's HBO doing their shit again, bud.
So this is because this is another time that we are seeing a studio completely scrap a movie, essentially.
They tried to.
Well, so now a congressman is calling for a federal investigation into Warner Brothers for its handling, and he said the tactic of scrapping films for tax breaks is predatory and anti-competitive. It's like burning down a building for the insurance money. So we were just talking about this, how these movies are obviously getting canceled and stuff and not being released at all for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have an actual like what's happening. So they're essentially getting free money by scrapping these.
If this gets us back, girl, sue 'em. But also, you know what's crazy about this? So HBO during the streaming wars was like, you know what people love? Looney Tunes. We'll buy the rights to Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
And Looney Tunes aren't selling like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
So Space Jam didn't really work out, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
They did a Tom and Jerry.
Yep.
Didn't really work out. That was a COVID release. But this one has John Cena. You're telling me John Cena versus Wile E. Coyote can't sell?
I don't know. It's crazy to me. Like, I'm not too familiar with Coyote versus Acme. Is that how you pronounce it?
So it's Wile E. Coyote.
Okay.
Yeah, and Acme is just the company that makes the explosives in Warner
Okay.
Brothers. So that's all that is. But so it's John Cena versus Wile E. Coyote. I never root for monopolies, bud. But I want Disney to buy this just to get HBO gone. HBO is just making bad decision after bad decision.
You know what they need to do is Disney buys the rights to Looney Tunes, and let's do like our crossover with like the Mickey Mouse characters and stuff.
Where Mickey just pummels them. Where Mickey puts on bigger gloves and just beats Bugs Bunny and then kicks his carcass to the front of the screen and goes, "Oh, you could take me out, huh? Huh? Big tough guy?" And then Mickey just spits a loogie on this corpse of Bugs Bunny. After 60 years,
That's empty.
I finally took you out.
There you go.
Sell it.
To sell it.
Give me 20 minutes with an animator, and that's what the movie is. And at the end, you give everyone their money back.
Yeah. No. They need to. They do need to do something though to stop these studios from doing it. Because it's not like, I guess part of the problem too is us fans hear about things way before we're supposed to. So
20 years ago, we never would have heard about this movie.
and it would have just been scrapped. But now with like social media, everybody hears about this stuff. So now it makes you wonder how many films got scrapped back in the day, and were getting like these tax breaks and stuff, but nobody heard about, and these studios essentially got away with it. But nowadays, because we hear about it, is this going to stop like movies from being canceled?
Every once in a while, there's a movie that gets shelved because the studio gets sold.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if you're familiar with the 70s movie Red Dawn.
No.
It's essentially, you'll see it on like AMC in the afternoons. The premise of the original one is the Russians attack. Mm-hmm. And it's 70s, 80s, so it's anti-Russia. Russians attack, and this group of high school students go into the woods and fight them. Mm-hmm. So they remade Red Dawn. They shelved it because the studio was filing bankruptcy. Mm-hmm. And it had Josh Peck from Drake and Josh.
Oh, really?
And it had Chris Evans.
Okay.
So what happens is it got shelved for 3 years till the studio figured out their bankruptcy issue. Mm-hmm. And all these actors had to go on this press tour for a movie they don't remember making from 4 years ago and try and explain it. And they all look different because it's been 4 years.
Oh my god.
So that used to happen, but never like taking $1 million losses for no reason.
Yeah. Well,
I think HBO is just really just being dirtbags left and right.
Well, it doesn't sound like they're losing money on these things.
Not with the tax breaks. They probably...
They probably make money.
Not make money, but at least saves them a lot of money.
Or they're getting even.
Yeah, I mean, they're at least breaking even on it.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for your mom paying for that subscription, I wouldn't watch it.
She doesn't even know that you had that.
Oh, she knows.
Oh, she's going to find out when she listens. She's not a consistent listener anymore.
I don't blame her. It's an awful show. But also, don't cancel it now because they're doing Hard Knocks in season.
It's fun. You call us an awful show, but, we have 105 people subscribe to us now.
Hey, that's 5 more than we were 3 days ago.
I know. But we do have some more Lego news stuff happening.
You want to do one more MCU before we go to Lego?
We can hit up one more MCU.
Kang Dynasty director drops out, and they're pretty much canceling the movie.
So, actually, I did have this somewhere in here. So, Kang Dynasty director, I'm not sure if he was exactly dropping out or if it was like both Marvel and them decided to go separate ways.
Yeah.
Because apparently this is signaling that Kong is done. He's
Kang.
no longer Kang.
You were super invested in that character, huh? Kang, K-A-N-G. Kong is King Kong, the monkey.
Kang is completely done.
Are we replacing him with Kong, King Kong?
Yes.
Or DK, Donkey Kong?
And Godzilla's on the Avengers side. But so apparently with
I hate myself for laughing at
the Kang Dynasty director, with him being gone, they're completely switching up the way that this whole new phase is going because they're dropping the whole Kang idea entirely. Do you need to take a break?
Keep doing your thing, though.
Okay, so
Godzilla's on the Avenger.
they need to they're going to be scrapping Kang and going with a new villain for the entirety of this
We're like 3 years
saga. I know, it's insane. Like, they have been going for so long in this new phase, and it continuously gets worse and worse to the point where
in. We're bringing back the original Avengers to save it.
we're bringing back the original Avengers to save it. The villain that they were trying to set up for this next, 10 years, essentially, is going to be gone. They've been trying to set up this character, King, for, 5 years now?
Marco, it's like your pitcher gives you 8 amazing innings. Your closer comes in, blows the game, and then you're like, hey, can we get the starter back out here to clean this up?
Yeah, so they've been setting up King for 3 to 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're completely scrapping King, it seems like, and they're just going to throw a new villain in here. What does this do now? Does this extend when we get the next Avengers movie, or are we going to pull back and
Watch him do a time jump.
do a time or are we,
Time jump. Hey guys, this didn't happen.
or are they going to basically be like, at the end of this phase, this was the end of the intermission saga, and now we're going into the Doom phase or something, the Doctor Doom phase or something? I don't know.
You have to beg Elizabeth Olsen to put the witch costume back on, and you have to beg. You have to write a blank check, beg her to be your villain for the next 10
They're going to
years.
basically have to say 90% of the money goes to you right now.
She is about the only character that can save this and not upset everyone because she's already turned villain. She's there.
But does this mean now we're not getting Avengers movies for another at least 5 years at this point? Because
Marco, I don't even think I want the Avengers movie they were going to make.
yeah,
That sounds awful.
I don't know. Marvel's in a very tough spot now. Their franchise just got destroyed essentially.
They wrote themselves into a corner.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to what I said before. You have the multiverse. Why did you not just say, oh, the big bad king we're looking at, he looks way different because he's from a different universe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they specifically have that king in the green mask and stuff that they could use?
Yeah, do it.
I don't know. You have hundreds of writers, producers, and staffing. Not one of them could say, hey, let's recast.
Let's put a body double in a mask. Damn it, Johnson. Be serious.
Recasting was so common back in the day. Nowadays, people, they don't recast, and I don't know why.
I think the audience is smarter. A little less race.
Yeah. I want to know what happened to where they stopped doing recast.
Probably not fair to the actors.
He got arrested.
Oh, I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying for this situation.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is it time to bring in Johnny Depp as a character? Maybe.
Let's bring Johnny Depp in. Let's have Johnny Depp play Jack Sparrow, and Jack Sparrow somehow the next villain for the Avengers.
No, use Johnny Depp's character from Blow, which is him on drugs. He'll be the villain.
Yeah.
My thing is, Mark, I don't know how many more bad ideas they can put out before people turn on him completely.
I don't know either. like I said, Marvel's in a tough spot right now.
They need to do 2 Spider-Man movies back to back, get people back on their side.
They need to do something. They need to do something that's not, like, detrimental to them at this point. Because everything they've done is just detrimental to the health of the overall universe.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an infection. You have to keep the TV show separate from the movies and go from there.
Yeah. Actually, we have a lot of Marvel news. Still.
We're going back. Suck it, Lego.
So Kevin Feige says fans will see the live-action X-Men in the MCU perhaps soon, were his exact words.
He's like, don't fire me because the X-Men come with me.
Now, let me talk about this.
This is the summer.
Deadpool's coming out next summer. Is that what he's talking about? Because, like, we have Wolverine in it. He's part of the X-Men. Technically, Deadpool is part of the X-Men.
Do we have any movies coming out in between now and Deadpool?
I don't think so. You would need to check on it.
Yeah, let me do that.
With that being said, so Deadpool is resuming filming on December 21st. A few days ago on November 9th.
How is it resuming filming? I thought it was done.
It's not done. The first half of Deadpool 3 is done, and they had a secret test screening on November 9th. It is resuming filming on November 21st, and the movie is going to be finished by June, July next year.
Marco, we live like 3 hours from New York City. How are we not getting invited to these test screenings? How do you get invited to these test screenings?
I don't know. Do they happen in New York, or are they down in LA?
I assume.
Regardless, the fact that they're still making this movie this late is making me nervous. Are they going to be crunched too much and there's going to be an issue with the time release?
I'm just concerned because the strike, how much did they film that was bad?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man. Madam Web comes out in February.
Oh, boy. We're in for a treat.
Marco, I didn't even know they were making that movie. There was never like an article. There was never like a review. There was never an announcement. They just made this movie in secret?
I saw a leak of a picture from set like 2 months ago, and I was like, I don't even know what that is. I'm skipping over it.
You know what's crazy?
What?
Deadpool 3, if you don't include Madam Web, is the next one.
So that's probably what Kevin Feige means by perhaps soon for when we'll see the Avenger or the X-Men in the MCU. Because it's going to connect them into the MCU at this point.
Marco, we have 3 Sony movies next year.
2024, the year of Sony.
Madam Web is in February. How is Madam Web the trailer that just dropped beating Craven to theaters when Craven we like tore apart a year ago? Venom 3, November 8th. Those would be okay. Craven the Hunter, August 30th. The second Spider-Verse movie hasn't been announced yet. And MCU TV shows. Okay, you ready for these?
Yeah.
Echo, January.
Echo looks good.
Yeah, X-Men 97, so that's the continuation of the 97 X-Men series.
Yep.
The cartoon. Agatha, Coven of Chaos is in the fall of 2024. Spider-Man Freshman Year might be 2024. And Marvel Zombies, which I believe is animation as well.
Okay.
That's a pretty light year for the MCU.
Yeah, well, that's also because, like, Captain America Brave New World was supposed to be released next year.
Got pushed to 2025.
Yep, February 14th, 2025. You want to know why?
Why?
Test screenings went terribly, and apparently Harrison Ford plays President or General Ross.
Yeah.
He's going through a presidential election that is parallels to Trump's presidency. He becomes president, and then apparently they basically showed him starting the Capitol resurrection or whatever that happened a couple years ago. And apparently it did terribly in test screens because people were like, this is too political.
But also, they screwed up with Falcon becoming Captain America. They didn't do it in a movie. They did it in a TV show. No one watched the TV show besides me.
Yeah.
Which was a good show.
The only thing is, doesn't he get handed the shield or something at the end of Endgame or something?
Yeah. Elderly Chris Evans handed it to him.
Yeah, but he's not still not fully Captain America. He hasn't
that's what that whole series, Falcon and Winter Soldier, was him becoming Captain America.
Yeah.
But also the Thunderbolts is supposed to be coming out. So how do you do the Thunderbolts before Captain America: Civil War, or vice versa?
Don't ask me. Marvel.
Because it's Thunderbolt Ross.
Yes. So I don't know.
Why are we doing 2 Harrison Ford-led Marvel movies? Which again, love Harrison Ford, but what's the difference in these 2 movies?
Apparently, too, the CGI for Harrison Ford being put on things was terrible.
Because they're rushing things.
Because what they do is he takes the super serum, obviously.
Yep.
And
no, he becomes the Hulk, so it wouldn't be.
Well, he becomes the Red Hulk, but he takes whatever it is to become super strong. And at first, he's normal. He's just normal human, and he's doing like these crazy jumps and flips. But they were CGIing Harrison Ford's face onto somebody, and apparently it just looked very janky. Obviously, it's an early test screen. Maybe that's why. But, yeah, no, it's insane.
I mean, we love our Harrison Ford, but
I love Harrison Ford. Stop wasting his time in this and get more episodes of Shrinking out.
What if this was just a backdoor pilot to Shrinking season 2? He just plays the same character. My kids don't ship with my green.
That's why he takes this serum, because he has what does he have in that show? Parkinson's or something?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I assume you got a good amount left, right?
Of what?
This.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a small break, come back and do the other half, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, guys. We've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco.
We'll see you sooner than you think.
Goodbye.